Good afternoon. Star TV channel, Kokoshnikov Konstantin. I can't help but ask about the statement we've heard from you in the last few weeks, speaking about the footage of the first combat tests of the latest rocket Oresnik, which has been replicated around the world. One gets the impression that it really has no shortcomings. But in the West, for example, they continue to call Hazel modifications of old Soviet weapons and say that this missile can be shot down, even at the launch stage. Here's how you could comment on it. Does it have flaws? And if I may ask a clarifying question, what meaning did the creators of Hazelnut put into its name? Because there are different options in this regard.
1. Regarding whether it is old or new weapon, modern is a modern, very new weapon. Everything that is done in any field of activity is based on some previous developments and previous achievements, and then people take a step forward. This is all the same as Poreshnikov. When were the ladies on developments? Moreover, by the way, the development of the Russian period of time is on this basis. Scientists, designers, engineers thought that what to do still coordinated their position with the Ministry of Defense, with the customer. Finally, here it is. It came to me too, but I also took part in the final decision on whether to produce it or not. In what volume, when, and how it was made. This is a new weapon. I repeat, once again, this is a medium and shorter range weapon. You mentioned that some experts in the West believe that this is easy. Such a missile is easily shot down, destroyed, especially on the initial flight trajectories. What can you say to such an expert? There are several types of air defense systems, as you know, from the start. Yes, that's why. These are Patriots. Yes, these are more modern systems that I don't know if they exist in Ukraine or not. In my opinion, no. If the Americans will decide to install it, let them install it. It will install it more modern. Well, somewhere similar to ours with 400, if it rubs somewhere. C can be correlated with the 300 Russian system, that is somewhere. This is from 400. Some characteristics of the Nevskaya are weaker, but in general out of 400, but there are other means of destruction. This missile defense system, which has been talked about a lot, discussed a lot, and we begged the Americans not to deploy this system so that we do not need to create systems to overcome it. We did it eventually, remember? Avant-garde? We have a gliding unit that does not fly along such a trajectory. It spreads across the ground. A non-ballistic missile does not go into space, and so on. He has done a lot to overcome ABM and, in general, from the point of view of the interests of American taxpayers, everything. This narrative involves high expenses, offering minimal protection to their nation, however. This system, however, has been created to a considerable extent. 2 positional areas have been created, one in Romania, one in Poland and there is already 24 anti-missile combat duty there. If memory serves, I believe they are named Standard 3. Is it located in Romania? One, in my opinion, is a modification of 1B with a range of 300 kilometers. The altitude of the attack is from 80 to 250 kilometers in Poland. There is a more formidable weapon there. The interception range is already 1,000 kilometers and the altitude is 500 kilometers. But we have a Hazelnut. It's a medium-range weapon, and a medium-range weapon is 1,503, and extending up to 5.5, reaching 1,000. This marks the range. Now envision the potential. Our system is 2,000 kilometers away. Well, even anti-missile systems located on Polish territory won't reach it. When there's an overclocking site, the vulnerability increases. Firstly, nothing can reach it. Even if these positional areas are unprotected, they are still defended. Nothing flies through. Such systems don't exist that can fly there in 1 or 2 moves. It takes time to cover this distance. And in a few seconds, we begin breeding combat blocks. And the whole train is gone. So there's no chance not to shoot down those missiles. Well, if those Western experts you mentioned believe so, let them suggest it to us. And let him offer those in the Western United States who pay them for their analysis to produce some. Such a technological experiment will say such a high-tech duel of the 21st century. Then they will determine some object to destroy, let's say these. All our air and missile defense forces will concentrate there, and we will strike and see what the result is. Are we ready for such an experiment? Is the other side ready? Well, in any case, we do not exclude this, bearing in mind that all missile defense and missile defense systems are still in operation. What will be interesting for us is what I told you, and you tell me the engineers, scientists, military specialists. The level of political leadership in the States tells a significant story. I propose conducting an experiment, a technological duel, to explore interesting outcomes. This initiative will benefit both us and the American nation. Let's what? Why the name, though? To be honest, it's intriguing. I don't know.